Never mind me while I'm stepping out my circumference. I feel the nerves trickling down. It's life humbling. My words stutter, stumbling, staggered on court of guard. This the life of a jigaboo, introverted, I'm scarred. Whoa, my mother been the melodies while they sing the choruses. Direct message from Slade saying we need more of it. Paranoia in my state, I see envy at high rates. Now it's crop off the fate, turn great so I fly straight. Was gone for a minute, now I'm back like an X with big factors. I see you turn flat like extinct like some raptors. When I drop through purposes and practicing patience, we move to greener pastures. They're saying life is a matter of mastering basics and mastering patience. More time I get tired of waiting. Maybe it's fate procrastinating. The times are bad, so it really had me sprung like she got me doing things that I never do. You thought that we connected when in fact it was trauma bonding. Just leave it up to me to break the rules, never corresponding. My childhood filled with fence climbs and knee scrapes and bikes and kicking it by the street signs. The older I get, I'm trying to lessen any screen time. The bounce back heavy, I rock steady on climb. This one's a fucking loop, the news will pick and choose whatever truth they wanna give to you. I cannot stomach it, so I poop. Oops. When life turns sweeter, the lemon mouths get louder. But I'm amplified with ghosts from God like that boy Fowler. Working like I got that point to prove. But truth be told, the proof is right in the pudding, no point to lose. 60 for the crepes, yeah, I did that just because. She expected more, girl, you know I'm saving up. Left me on red, well, it was what it was. Never stress over them joints or in downs when times get rough, so I ghost. Long are the days when we was close, and when I see you, it's like two completely different type of goats. I approach the weekly fire dropping, which I'm feeding. Still, I don't expect to be the one. Your boy having bugs, still the songs get spun like Beyblades and teacups. My fun fair to those that ever really know me from jump. So what's up, I've been the one they all depended on like TJ. Now they're dead wilder than a furry knockout punch, leaving them straight stunned. It's hella fun. Through the lot, now you know I'm coming through. When the growth look good on you, best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keeps dealing me cards, I keep fitting in love.
What's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I know we're back again so bloody soon. We're back again so bloody soon. I did not think I was going to be back here so soon. I was literally chilling, trying to watch a bit of Shogun. You know, I was actually getting into it as well. And then, of course, as you guys can see in the caption, you can see all the news circulating around Twitter. You've heard the press conference. Well, you've heard the press conference. Yeah, press conference from Jurgen Klopp talking about Diogo Jota. We'll, of course, talk about that. Hopefully this isn't going to be too long. Guys, make sure you smash the like, share and subscribe to the damn channel. To be honest, the Jota thing we'll speak about, you know, towards the end, because otherwise we could be here for about 5 hours talking about Diogo Jota by himself. But one of the main things that I did actually see, to be fair, which was actually pretty good, was that Liverpool might look like we're going to be moving across now to the rivals, or back to our rivals, which would be Adidas, the kit manufacturer. I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest with you. I think Adidas is it's a good brand. Well, let me say they were a good brand for Liverpool. We all remember the Fernando Torres, Steven Gerrard, the kit and everything like that. So, of course, it's going to bring up some kind of good memories. Do you know what I mean? And I think ever since Liverpool have had Nike, I've not really liked more or less any of the kits. I'll be honest. Maybe the cream one, which was supposed to be like a newer version of the old school retro one that we had years ago, back in the 90s. Yeah, back in the 90s. Outside of that, the rest of them, I've actually not liked them at all. I think I've only got one. Yeah, this kit right here. I think this is the only kit that I've got in terms of Liverpool Nike kits, because the rest I've just not liked at all. I've literally not liked at all. Big up everybody inside. Let me go through some of the comments. Again, I don't want to be here for too long, guys. This is just real quick Liverpool news. And then we can head out of here and enjoy the rest of our afternoon before we have to start picking up the kids. Katie saying, James Pearce said Gary O'Neill is not under consideration. Thank God. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Big up LFC Aaron in the building. Big up Marianne. Hope you are doing well. Big up Nerd Beats Football Analysis. Guys, make sure you subscribe over there as well, please. First time seeing the intro. Yeah, listen, man. It's a nice little song there. Nice little song. The artist is in my description, so you'll be able to check him out yourself. And yeah, very good music. Promo saying Liverpool are actually cursed. Listen, honestly, WD in the building. Come on, I'm sure you meant we in the building. Of course, you know the vibes, you know the ties. Captain Sal, big up to yourself. Question, we'll get to that. Don't worry. Honestly, I see that. Everyone just chatting amongst themselves. So, you know what? I'll go straight to the first bit of news I wanted to go to, which was. There we go. Boom. Hopefully you guys can see it. Yeah, that's the one. So this is obviously the new Adidas thing that Liverpool apparently will be going to for the 25-26 season. Seems so far away, but that's only the in 2 seasons' time. So just quickly here, look, it just says Liverpool FC is poised to announce a new kit supplier deal with Adidas that will begin with the 25-26 season. Sport Business can exclusively reveal. Following recent tender process, Adidas is understood to have been identified as the winning bidder in a deal that would run for 5 seasons from 25-26 to 29-30. How long was our Nike deal? That's something that I couldn't remember or find, to be honest with you. I thought we were going to be with Nike for a hot minute, because remember when we got Nike from the beginning, it was about how much money we was going to make, you know, all of these things that we was going to do, you know, once we got the money in over a few years. I think we'd even taken a deal where we didn't get all the money up front, but we would get it over a period of time, but we'd make money from sales and all of these other kind of things. So I'm kind of surprised slightly. 4 years, you're saying promo. Cool. In my head, I'm kind of surprised that we are moving on from Nike so quickly. I would have thought that we would stay with them for quite a bit of time, but I guess, you know, it is what it is. Nike has been Liverpool's kit supplier since 2021 season, with that deal only coming about after the Premier League club won a court case against then incumbent supplier New Balance, which had claimed matching rights to Nike's bid. That's it. Yeah, here we go. Nike only pays Liverpool a base fee of 30 million per season, a relatively low sum for a top-tier kit deal, albeit Liverpool was thought to be attracted by the US sportswear giant's marketing and distribution clout. In addition, royalty payments on net sales of replica sportswear are thought to push the annual figure beyond 50 million per year. So 50 million a year, fair enough. New Balance had been paying Liverpool a base of 25 for about 5 years. New Adidas Liverpool agreement would be higher than the 50 million paid out under the Nike contract, although it will fall under the league-wide record of 90 million from Manchester United. So, okay, cool. More than the 50 million, but less than the 90 million that Manchester United are obviously currently being paid for by Adidas. So I'm kind of good with that. I ain't got no beef with that, to be honest with you. That doesn't really give me too much of an issue. But yeah, let me go through some of the comments. I just see, bro, are you responding? Yeah. I'm here, man. I'm here. This ain't no pre-recorded, my bro. This ain't no pre-recorded. Honestly, he's asking questions for G. How good Jota is, would you sell him because of his injury or keep him because of how good he is? We'll get to that in a second, my bro. I'll pull up that question when we get over to looking at Diogo Jota, because we'll have a conversation about that regardless, and I'll give you my thoughts and feelings. But I'll also show you in terms of the statistics with Jota, in terms of his injury record as well, and you guys can make, form your own opinion. If I'm being honest, I was ready to take a nap, and LFC is like, nah, bro, real talk. I was watching Shogun, I was cooling, I was good. Like I was, when you start to like you're chilling, but you're kind of like drifting off a bit. That's what I was doing. And then someone messaged me and said, G, you're not gonna like this. I said, what am I not gonna like now? Like I actually thought it was gonna be Salah. I didn't think it was gonna be Jota. And then I see it was the Jota stuff, and I said, yeah, you lot are just, you lot are taking the mick. To be honest with you, you're taking the mick. Big up Kel's in the building. It's like clockwork, letting the Adidas and Jota news come out so the manager convo takes a back seat. know your owners. No, whether it's the owners or not, I know Liverpool at least. So yeah, we could say the owners because yeah, that's how we kind of work when it comes to news, especially news that is not good. We try to combat that with good news, and the good news could be anything from I don't know, a new kit deal to I don't know, seeing someone back in training. Like usually I'll see, oh, such and such is back from training. They're very smart with these things. Very, very smart. Hollywood Rock, Liverpool's best kits have always been under Adidas. They suit Liverpool. I did like Reebok though. I can't lie. Obviously, I grew up in the Reebok era. So yeah, I did like Reebok, I'll be honest with you. Wonder how this affects LeBron merchandise. Very true. I mean, if it's not good, because it's not going to be next season, which is the 24-25 season, it's going to be the season after that. So I'll be very interested. I'll be very intrigued to see what LeBron does in terms of he always tweets stuff every now and again about Liverpool, and he'll do these kind of like videos and stuff where he's like, yeah, big up Liverpool, big up Van Dijk, or whatever the case may be. I'll be interested to know if he's gonna still be doing those kind of little things when he's not working with us anymore. Do you know what I mean? And of course, he's got a stake, in Liverpool Football Club. I don't know if it's via Redbird or whatever, but he's got a stake in Liverpool or Redbird, one of them. So yeah, I'll be very interested to see what kind of happens there. Honestly, when it comes to the business side of things, you can't say nothing about FSG. They are very good businessmen. Agreed, 100% agreed on that. Let me just get this up properly. Big up Diogo in the building, another person who we never ever see. He's asking, do you think Darwin has been a flop? We'll get to that when I get to the player stuff. We'll get to. I'm starring all of these kind of player stuff. I'm starring them now. Big up Adam, mate. What do we say on the stream? Yeah, I know, guys. Make sure you head on over to Adam Naylor LFC. Subscribe to his channel. Very informative news updates throughout the day. So make sure you guys, of course, subscribe to him. But yeah, we had this conversation about Diogo Jota, and now look, we're here talking about Diogo Jota again. Big up Alexander in the building. KZ saying they're saying it's going to be Arnie Slot. I honestly quit. I mean, it's crazy even with that. I don't know if Jerry's there. Before we get into that section, obviously you see the news about the new potential Adidas deal. Do you want Adidas back again, or are you good with the Nike kits? I know you got a couple, to be fair. So I know you might actually like them, but I don't like them. But you tell me, what you saying?
No, they're all right. Like the purple one's calm. Like
yeah, I know you got that one.
It's all right. Yeah, like they're all right in it. It's all right. Like everything's all right. Like, but it's just I don't know. Adidas, it doesn't really matter. I just think like I don't know. The designers always just flop a bit because like I don't know. Like the Spurs training kit looks better than the Liverpool one, or the Spurs stuff, and they've got Nike. PSG, obviously, their Nike wears cold. Barca's Nike wears cold, but our Nike wears dead, innit? So yeah, we could get Arsenal and think, yeah, we're gonna get the same as Arsenal's thing. It might not be like that. It might still be pants, but it's just a different brand. So for me, the most important thing is just the design in it. It's the design, and until we see the design, again, I'm not too sure. But Nike's kits that are coming out for Liverpool for next season, I'm interested to go and see them because the concept actually look quite good. And I know people might not like the home kit because it's a bit out there and they've got like you'll never. But I want something different. Like show me some like creativity. So it's like all right, let's see what they're working with when it drops, man.
No, I agree. And obviously, I just put this back up here just for yourself, really. Obviously, with Nike, we were only getting paid a base fee, or we're only getting paid a base fee of 30 million. And then obviously, I think 30 million, and it goes up potentially up to 50 million a year. That was when before we were previously on New Balance, and they were giving us 25. Adidas looked to be starting us at the 50 million potentially, and obviously further up, but it'll be lower than the 90 million that Manchester United are on. So obviously, more money in it, more money for Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly. So more money. If I don't know what percentage of that goes into the team, maybe it goes into other avenues of the club in it. It might just we never know. We never know. But again, if Adidas can do something, it looks nice. It looks nice, isn't it? Like, like Adidas for a certain point, they were actually quite calm with their prices of the jerseys. The prices are still going to be high in it. It's not like the prices are dropping anytime soon.
Fact.
So we're just gonna have to see what it is. And like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. People love Adidas, but then like Man United fans, they hated this year's kits. They like their home kit. They didn't like the away kit. The white kit was they said it was basic, and they didn't like the other one. So it's like it's up and down in it. It's just people obviously nostalgia in it. They see Adidas and like Liverpool, and they're like, oh my god, and
they remember the Torres, Gerrard. Oh shit! No, I thought you said that. No, I was saying they remember the Torres and Gerrard's that whole situation when we had them two, and obviously we had the Adidas kit during that period of time.
Exactly, man.
Those kind of memories.
Exactly. So it's like, I'm not too fast, man. It's just a kit in it. Like, if we were smart, we'd create our own brand in it. We'd create our own brand and do something like that. If you were really smart, you take on like a large. You make sure there's like a panel, or not a panel, but like a board, like a collaborative group of fans that represent fans from different demographics that come together to create a kit. And the brand is a Liverpool, is another company, a sister company of Liverpool that go and produce those kits.
I never even thought of that, you know. Okay, yeah, that's a shot though.
Businessman, man.
Yeah, well, these are the men who are getting paid, you know, to do all of this stuff. So I was hoping that they would have been coming up with these kind of little things, but you know, it is what it is with these. Let me just get this up. So obviously we saw this earlier on today. Obviously we spoke a little bit about of course, Gary O'Neill potentially being interviewed for the Liverpool job. I then see James Pearce then tweet not too long ago, literally I think like 10-15 minutes ago, saying that he is not under consideration for the job. So basically no one knows clearly, or one person is right and the other person is wrong. So it's a typical kind of Liverpool fiasco when it comes to news. We're always last to know in terms of fans wise, but even the journalists, they seem to never ever really be on point with this kind of stuff until it actually has happened, whatever that is. So we wouldn't have found out about Szoboszlai until I think maybe like the day before. But in my head, when Szoboszlai got signed, it seemed quick. But you got to realize these men have been doing the groundwork from behind the scenes for time, probably. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it was probably for a minute, like a week or two, that they'd been actually working this deal and trying to sort out that kind of deal. But we only find out 2 days before, oh, snap, Liverpool in for Szoboszlai. Yep, we're just going to pay the release clause. Yep, we pay the release clause. Bang, we get him. I don't think it goes that quickly. No, I'm not saying it can't happen, because you see it sometimes with deadline day deals and things like that. But this wasn't one of those deals, I don't think. So same here with the news in terms of Gary O'Neill. And obviously, like I said, we spoke about it a little bit earlier on. Just quickly before we move on to the big thing that I know everyone wants to unpack is, would you take him at Liverpool next season? Man, even kissed his teeth.
No. Like, I would, innit? Like, I would. I don't think there's any. You see, like, look. If I'm being honest, if I'm being really honest, I don't think there's that much of a difference between like the managers we're talking about and the Gary O'Neill or a Thomas Frank or a Slot, or you could even go as far down as flipping the brother from Bournemouth.
Iraola, yeah.
Iraola, like, exactly. It's just like they're all like Jesse Marsh. I remember Jesse Marsh was being tied with a Liverpool job, like when he was doing well at Leipzig. Do you know what I mean? Because he was at Leipzig doing well.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those ones where like you just need to make sure the fit's right and that you give them everything they can do to succeed. It's not necessarily going to work out well. I mean, when you think about it, only one manager can be like, if you're looking at the title, only one manager can win it. So right now, people are saying Mikel Arteta's a flop. If someone said to me, "Yeah, bringing the Mikel Arteta to Liverpool," I'll take him, because
I will take him. Yeah, I'll take him.
Exactly. But there's no guarantee you're going to win in it. So again, it's what are you looking for? I think, look, he'll be decent. That the squad's not in the same situation that we were with like a Brendan Rodgers. He seemed like a cool guy. Like if I had to be like coached by someone like as a player, he seems cool. Like when what's his name, man? Mario Lemina's brother signed from PSG. The way he was chatting to him and stuff. He's a cool guy. So I know the academy like rated him a lot as well as a guy. So he's cool. At the end of the day, it's just like we'll have to wait and see what it is. Obviously, I'm not too. If I'm being honest, has he got like a like the reason why I want De Zerbi, and I don't want De Zerbi, is because
No,
he's
please.
someone for me. He's a standout that has like a style that's like it can transcend not only the first team, but it can transcend throughout the club. Like the club can start playing a certain style. It's that
Yeah.
type of manager. Anyone else after that is just like, yeah, they're gonna play their style and their academy will play their style, but they're not gonna have necessarily an impact on the club as a whole. Like a Pep, like a Bielsa when he came, like whoever you want to go and talk about. He's more of like a manager that's just gonna come in and be like, yeah, well, if I do well, I do well. If I don't, I don't. And there's bare of those managers in it. Like I think he needs time. As long as we give him time and everything else is set up, like he's performing at a good level. Like, do you know what I mean? So using that, you'd hope that he'd perform at a higher level. Do you know what I mean? Like it's that with our players, man. Is there that much of a difference between like I don't know, man, any player and grab another player from anywhere, man? Like, is there that much of a difference between like I don't know, man, Nori and Robertson? Is there that much of a difference? If you wanted to go either way, it's not like they're
Yeah,
miles
I hear
apart.
it. Yeah,
If you went and looked at like Konate, yeah, is there that much of a difference between him and I don't know any centre back you wanna chuck in there? It's not that much of a difference. They're playing in a team that's just obviously doing well. Of course, within that you have a few standouts, but right now in like you said before, there's no standout candidate for like managers. It's
No.
not like Pep Guardiola's available and free, and you're like, right, we've got to grab him in it, and he's done this and
Yeah.
done that. It's like, bruv, like, do you know what I mean? Tito Villanova done well at Barcelona after that. They then had Luis Enrique, he done well after that. They then had the guy that passed away, I forgot his name, that done well. Then they had flipping the brother who's at Betis now. There's that Pellegrino, well, whoever, they had another, yeah, lad, do you know what I mean? Papa Martino or something. They done all right. They didn't win the league and you got sacked, but they came like second and were in like the semi-final of the Champions League. So it's like it is where it is, isn't it? It's just we take what it is and we move on, man.
No. Listen, man, I agree. Like I said, that's why I've not been big up Ben. He asked me earlier on today about is De Zerbi like my first choice? I was like, yeah, he's my first choice, but I don't care who the manager is because everything really that Jerry's saying there in regards to this whole managerial situation. And to be honest, this is going to be a merry-go-round until something gets announced, and I don't see something being announced before the end of the season. Not whilst Liverpool are still in a title race, and potential other managers potentially being busy with whatever they're doing in their own leagues. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Unless it's a manager who's not working, which obviously gives you some indication as to who that potentially might be, whether it's a Mourinho, a Zidane, or something of that kind of ilk. All these other managers, they're all still working. The season's still going. We're only in coming up to the end of April. So are they realistically going to be in a position whereby they're going to be announcing this and announcing that? I don't know. I mean, we've seen the reaction from fans and players, and we've seen the performances of the players since Jurgen Klopp initially said that he's going to leave, and that was in January. So we've seen how the team have obviously operated since then. And when you look at it on the face of it, it's a weird one because you say, well, in terms of fans are, they're out here crying their eyes out and oh my goodness, he's leaving and is trying to get to grips with everything and cool. That's obviously fans, and I get that, and that makes sense. From the player sense of things, won the Carabao Cup, out of the FA Cup, out of the Europa League, third in the Premier League. Well, joint top now, but if Manchester City win their game in hand, then they'll go third, kind of thing. So, to be fair, I go back to what you said actually about it at the time, and I disagreed with you 100%. I remember we were talking about it, like the impact of this. So I can only imagine what the impact would be 5 games left of the season to then announce that you're getting a new manager, kind of thing, and then everyone being like, okay, the new manager's Amorim as an example, De Zerbi, whoever. De Zerbi, even if it's De Zerbi, he's in the middle of trying to get his team into Europe. I don't think he needs that kind of pressure and all of that, going on whilst things are happening. So yeah, with the whole manager, Gary O'Neill, if it was him as an example, he's trying to push Wolves up the table. I'm sure Wolves can sneak a Conference League place if they continue performing exactly. So do you need that distraction? Do you need players who are now not necessarily going to be trying and training? Maybe.
Listen, we were coming up with lists of who's going to replace flipping Jurgen Klopp before Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes were even in a damn building, before we even knew who Richard Hughes was. I kid you not. No one didn't even know who Richard Hughes was. Like, who the hell is that? It sounds like some, do you know what I mean, your neighbor from the 3rd floor or something. Do you know what I mean? He's been there for 50 years. That Mr. Hughes. It's like, bruv, at the end of the day, Liverpool have look. Unfortunately, Klopp just made an error, a poor error. Like, people are going to tell me like, oh, you should have. Do you know what I mean, he didn't have a chance to obviously hide it. And if he didn't have a chance to hide it, cool. He could have just dealt with the speculation and just been clear with his players. But when you go and announce it like that to everyone, like, it's now like, again, every game is like a cup final. So everything now seems rushed. Like, people are moving, like panicking, like the season's done. Like, we haven't got a manager. We need to know who the manager is. Like, we didn't need to know that. It could have just been done under the table. Cool. He's leaving. He's coming in. Done. Instead, we're doing this whole thing where like announcing a manager in February or January, whenever it was, beginning of February, and now you've got pure speculation on this man, on that man, on this man, and it's just causing more panic and more pressure on the actual club, like as a system, because you're seeing all these other managers say, no, I'm going here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Other teams now looking for managers, where you could have just kept that under wraps, and just done your due diligence. And whoever came in, everyone would have thought, you know what, FSG are moving how FSG are moving, because the questions about FSG are still going to be there. You're still going to get people that are saying like, man, are calling him Arnie Slot, but with a U instead of Slot. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Man, are already calling him that. They're saying
I didn't even think of that yesterday.
Out. They're saying SLUT out. They're saying, do you know what I mean? I don't want F in the Zerbi. Do you know what I mean? I would like Amrim or nothing, or I'm marching on Liverpool. It's like, you're going to get that anyway, innit? You would have got that anyway, now or before. It'd be better just to be like, again, you know the news, he's leaving, this is your manager, deal with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is the best way to approach it, in my opinion.
Hey, man. I hear it. Question, would you, man, take the Borussia Dortmund manager?
Which one? Number 1 or number 2? The Ghanaian one, George Boateng?
No. I'm going to take him, bro. He's a shit manager regardless of anything. I won't even take him as anything. But yeah, the Borussia Dortmund manager...
I don't even know him, man.
I wouldn't say no. Savage probably because he's a Dortmund fan, and so he'd be the best person to ask. I wouldn't say no. Like I said, honestly, for me, same thing. I don't even care at this point. Like, I actually don't care. Like, I'm not in a position now where I'm even that bothered. But like, it would have bothered me if the market was like, as Jerry said, like, I don't know, you got Pep Guardiola and I don't know, Ancelotti, and all of these guys are kind of available. Because then I'm like, I kind of want this guy, like, because if this guy comes in, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. When we're dealing in a market where we're trying to say Arnie Slot, Ruben Amorim, Roberto De Zerbi, Thomas Frank, Gary O'Neill, like, and even the fact that you're even putting in the Borussia Dortmund manager. Again, I'm not saying these guys are dead managers, but that's not a pool that fills me with any real level of like optimism. And I'm like, you know what? Liverpool gonna cook next season. Like, we're actually gonna be sick. I'm not looking at the pool like that. I'm just looking at it thinking you're all kind of the same. You're actually, in my opinion, you're all the same level. Like, I feel like if you all were able to, in a alternate reality, if we were able to see like Spider-Man, Into the Universe, if we were able to see how you can see all the different types of Spider-Man, if you were able to see all the different types of managers at Liverpool, I feel like they'd all roughly do the same kind of thing. Whatever that is, I feel like they'd all do the same. So that's why I'm not too fussed and too bothered in regards to who actually comes in through the door. But, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, that's the market that we're in. It's a bit like the striker market. You're either going to get Mbappe or you're going to be left with Tony, Isak and Watkins and them kind of guys there. Big up Tariq Talks, man. Guys, make sure you head on over to subscribe to his channel. Now, how much importance do you guys put into style of play when it comes to a manager? Don't know if you want to answer that, Jerry. If not, I'll answer.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, it's important to me because I think there's certain styles of play that are more suited to winning football. Yeah. So from what I've seen in the past 10 years, however, winning's winning, and me personally, I don't care. I love football, innit? Like, I love Mourinho football back in the day. I love Benitez football. I love defensive. I love what Sean Dyche was doing at Burnley, the way he's set up to block, do you know what I mean, these big teams and then hitting on an account. I like tactically how they decide to go and do X, Y, and Z. So I really don't care, innit? Like, winning is winning. The only difference is I don't think any manager that, like, again, I said it before and I predicted it. I don't think Liverpool are going to obviously even challenge, let alone obviously win, let alone challenge, obviously, for the league. But I was looking at it just thinking, you know what? We're a club that we might be fourth for a long period of time. And if so, is the style that's going to help us go and get to the next level? And I think it's a certain style of play. But look, if Mourinho came in, if Simeone came in, if someone like that came in, and we were playing flipping 5 at the back with wing backs like Conte did and stuff, I really don't care, bro. I really don't care. I just want to go and see winning football and goals in it, and that's it. Like, I don't really care.
It's mad. Big up Tariq, by the way. Thank you for that.
Big up to yourself.
It's so funny because most of us are kind of in that kind of position now, because again, none of, like, okay, guys in the chat, yeah, anybody watching this on Twitter, think about the managers who are available. The general consensus to me, anyway, from how I see it, we're not really looking at the pool of managers, and like, we're not really filled with that level of optimism. So when we are talking about style of play, which is important, of course, like, ultimately it is important anyway, just in a general, forget what me and Jerry think. I still think that is actually an important thing, because they may not, in terms of Edwards and that, they may not want to go for someone whose style is so far left of what Liverpool's ethos is, potentially. I have no idea what they want to do at this moment in time, but that might be something they're thinking about, because they've seen Manchester United. They realize United went from Fergie and that kind of structure to then go into like a David Moyes, which probably could have gone better if they'd given him more time. But listen, that's the Manchester United. To then go to a Louis van Gaal, ending up with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralph Rangnick, Eric Ten Hag, Jose Mourinho. Like, they've just gone through so many different styles. And I think I even saw Jose mention something the other day, like literally the other day, talking about Manchester United still have players from when he was there, that he's like, nah, I didn't really want that player from that manager. Look how long ago that he was managing Manchester United. So they're in their own predicament because of these kind of things. Too many managers over a short period of time. Everyone's getting mixed and dotted around. Maybe Liverpool don't want to go down that route. Maybe we don't want, okay, you get this guy for 2 years, he comes in with his style, then we have to basically buy a whole new set of players to then go in for that style. I don't feel like that's a good recipe, unless you're going to get lucky like Chelsea back in the day, where they could have got Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti, Gus Hiddink, Antonio Conte, and all these kind of guys, and then somehow it can just kind of work. I don't think lightning always strikes twice, if I'm being totally honest. Hence why you see Manchester City, as well as getting in Pep Guardiola, they got all of the board backroom people from Barcelona to bring them in, as well as filtered all the way down through the youth academy, because they knew once we get this manager in, we want everything to follow with that. Everything from top to bottom to follow with that. So, and they look like they're trying to actually continue that, even with looking at the new the Girona manager. Potentially, he's obviously part of their City group thing. So bring him in, it kind of just continues. We don't have to change too much. His might be a tad bit different in style, but it's going to be along the lines of what we've already been doing. So we don't have to change too much. We don't have to go out and buy 7 players now, because we need those 7 players to fit what he wants to do. It's just one of those kind of things. So, yeah, the style of play will be important, I think, anyway. But to me, at this point, like I said, I don't care. Like, if we have to go down that route,
but we say style of, but you see, we stay start. Sorry to interrupt, but you see,
no.
Obviously just on the style of play point. We say that, yeah. Obviously, I assume, I don't want to speak for you, but I assume we're on the same wavelength in terms of we want to see a certain style of play. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I want deserve it. Yeah, I want that style.
Exactly. Gary Neville, as an example, tells you that although he thinks Man City are a brilliant team and stuff, he says that style of play is dead. It couldn't work at Man United. He said he said he prefers Klopp and that style of play where it's end to end and it's exciting. Now, that's again a problem. Is how important is that then for the fan base? Because you're saying style of play is important, but if the majority don't enjoy popping the ball and dominating teams like that, and they want a bit of excitement where it's like it's end to end, and we've got, you know what I mean, we're playing one centre back left at the top and stuff. Would that then coincide with what the fan base wants? Because from what I'm hearing, some people don't like Pep's style of play or this possession style of play in it, and that's where I'm trying to figure out: is it important to you, or do you think it's important to the Liverpool fan base?
I guess we'd have to find out in terms of whether it's important to the Liverpool fan base. But I think obviously Pep's a difficult one because that's a unique situation of one of the best managers of our entire lifetimes who's won everything and is a proven winner in that kind of sense, where even if you don't like the way he plays, like necessarily, you'll take him regardless because of what he is and who he is. So yeah, in that kind of sense. But I think if Manchester United were to go in for someone like Klopp, that would have made sense, though. In my opinion, it kind of would have made sense because of how Klopp is with Liverpool. Liverpool, Manchester United are fairly similar, emotional kind of clubs, clubs who have had managers in the past where it's more about the man management than it is about the football that you're playing. At times it can be nice, but mostly it's about having that one guy who embodies the ethos of the team and of the club and stuff like that. So that would have made sense. But I don't think Manchester United fans would have been crying about getting Pep Guardiola as a whole if they'd obviously seen what Manchester City have seen, which is where we've won everything, literally every cup competition we've won, every single thing, and we win it consecutively, like consistently, not consecutively. So yeah, I think for the Liverpool fan base, that's why when me and you, Savage, were talking about this earlier on, that's why I'm sitting there. And big up Alexander, I hear it. I totally understand why you might not like Pep's football. I've always liked it, but I understand why. But ultimately, I feel man are moving snobbish over certain things, and I'm just like, well, the reality is you almost have to. It's almost a give and take. Like there's someone has to compromise here somewhere. Either you just have to start compromising your own thinking, which is I don't really like the style of football, but this is, as Jerry said, it's a winning style of football. I didn't like Klopp's style of football as an example. I never ever have liked it. Maybe for like a season or two, at most I'll say 2 seasons where I could pick out. Yeah, I liked the style of football during those seasons, and that's it. And Klopp's been here for like 8-9 years, and I'm telling you, there's only 2 seasons that I've actually enjoyed watching Liverpool in that kind of sense, in the football sense, in terms of the style of play and blah blah blah. The rest of it I've not liked at all. I do not like the way.
How can you support Liverpool then if you don't support Klopp?
Because I don't need to support Klopp to support Liverpool.
No, you do though.
I don't. Why would I need to support the manager in that sense to support Liverpool? I just need Liverpool to do well. Him being there is almost just like the compromise I make with being a Liverpool fan, which is he is the manager.
But he's the best thing to happen to us in the last 30 years, though, G.
If that's the best thing to happen to you in the last 30 years, then come. Like, I'm not here to tell you. I'm not here to tell you otherwise, my bro. Like, I'm not arguing with you on that. I'm saying outside of the Premier League, of course.
He taught me how to run.
Listen, look, he brought man the Premier League and all that stuff. But what I'm trying to get at is that when we're looking at styles of play, that's why at times, again, it has to be the compromise. And that's my compromise, is that, okay, my compromise is I don't really like the way that Klopp plays. I never have, really and truly. But it has won. So I'm happy for that part. But if we're just talking, you asked me to list the manager's styles of play. If I had to go in order or whatever, I'm not going to go through. But if I had to go in order, he'd probably end up kind of low down the list of managers when I think about style of plays and things like that, because his style of play isn't really that good, in my opinion. But Savage said this the other day. He likes that end to end. He likes that exciting, and I hear it. I fully hear why people like it. But for me,
so based off for you, then, what are the main? I mean, if you had to say like 3 to 5 principles that you would want as a Liverpool fan in a manager, who would that be then? Is that is that Klopp being not Klopp, is that the manager playing this mad style of football? Is it winning? Is it being possession based? Is it him having a connection with the fans? Because there's so many different aspects that the manager has to hit. What are the key areas or the key criteria that the manager has to fit? Because when you look at like De Zerbi, why apart from the style of football side of it, why would you want a De Zerbi over a, I don't know, any manager, Frank or a Slot?
I think when it comes to okay, we'll go through the first thing. So in terms of like what I would need from a manager, and if someone has this, then great. I would say I kind of do need a manager who does seem to have a sense of understanding in-game management. Like we can sit here and say, yeah, Klopp this season, fair and like fair. Like if we're going to use this season as a barometer, this season he has been a bit better. Still don't think it's been that good, but it's been a bit better than it ever has been in any of the other seasons that he's ever been here. I would say, yeah, of course, yeah, 100%. But I do need a manager who can understand that in-game stuff. Secondly, I do need a manager who's flexible, and Klopp is not flexible in any stretch of imagination. He's not someone who, when I say flexible, I do mean like, prime example, we'll use De Zerbi. Everyone talks about the way that De Zerbi plays and things like that. De Zerbi, I've seen him play about 2 different ways since he's actually been here in England. And that shows me that someone who, yes, he has his, obviously you have your primary way that you want to play, but it also shows me that you can actually think like, okay, well, maybe if I playing against such and such team, as an example, I don't know, I might go 3 at the back, but in this game, I might go 4 at the back. In this game, I might put, I don't know, 1 striker. In another game, I might have Danny Welbeck and Ferguson up top, one of them playing off the other kind of thing. And then we'll have Matoma and whoever else plays on that right hand side, whatever it may be. With Klopp, I don't ever feel like he had that level of flexibility within his team. It always seemed like it was kind of regimented in what he did. So yeah, flexibility, a sense of in-game management. The fan stuff, I don't really care about that. I don't need to connect with you. I don't need to know you. I'm good with you being super quiet and we never hear from you. I'm so good with that. Just do your job and then we're good. The third thing I would say is probably trying to think of like something like why with De Zerbi. I think it's just in terms of him as an individual. I think that's why I like him. Like he just seems like someone who, I know people don't like him, which I don't understand why, but he seems like a likable person. He seems like someone who will say it how it is. Obviously, we can say that for a lot of managers, but if we're just talking about him specifically, he seems like someone who will ride for the cause. And I like the fact that he's able to, just like Klopp has been able to do, which is one of the things I like about Klopp. He's been able to develop players who, obviously not as good as Klopp, but he's been able to develop players. Lewis Dunk, like, would we ever have seen Lewis Dunk playing for England? I don't think so. I don't think he would. He was heading down that kind of path. If I'm being totally honest with you, other type of players that you looked at and you just think to yourself, wow, like Matoma. I know we talk about the players that we have, but I'm sorry, everyone knew Salah, everyone knew Mane, everyone knew Van Dijk. Robertson, I'll give you a tad bit of a blight, but he was playing in the Premier League. Gini Wijnaldum, Fabinho just come off winning League. Like these are all kind of known players. Man was taking Matoma and all of these type of guys, like, and making them players that everyone was like, I gotta sign this guy. Look how good he is. Look how amazing he is. So that kind of development with players who are not even so big out there was definitely something that I kind of looked at. But it's similar to Klopp, so there is that trait. But yeah, those are probably like the 3 things off the top of my head that I'd probably say. What about yourself?
Oh, if I had to talk about myself, if I had to talk about myself, I would say, for me, it's the style of play for me personally. So I think possession football, unfortunately, especially if you're a big team, you're more, it's the style that's going to help you domestically more so than not, because you have majority of the ball. You have an idea of how you're going to break teams down in different ways. You're not stuck on needing to play on transition a lot and relying on being the underdog and not having the ball almost being your strength. I think that's where, you know, Klopp really benefited, especially in his early years under Liverpool, because people underestimated Liverpool's ability in midfield. They didn't really, I mean, they underestimated it. They were like, yeah, it's just a front three. Well, no, when you think about it, Henderson was kind of underrated in terms of what he offered. There was always question marks around him. Gino Wijnaldum was underrated. And I mean, even Milner and whoever else we had in midfield was always that kind of, everyone looked at it as a weak point. So, you know, teams wouldn't really give us the respect. What you've seen, obviously, over time is teams start to give Liverpool more respect. And we've struggled to break teams down that systematically, where you're looking at it on paper. Do you know what I mean? Where, you know, we'd beat a team 2-1 and it would seem, or it would make it apparent like, do you know what I mean, other team, like the same team would roll over for Man City. And I don't think it's because it's Man City, so we're going to roll over. I think it's the fact that the way they go and play, they build up this notoriety around them where it's just like, it's peak. Like, if we lose the ball, it's peak. It's just mentally taxing. So for me, it's style of play for me, firstly. For me, secondly, it's having, I want the next manager we can have to have a real impact on the academy side of things as well. And I don't necessarily mean by, oh, he's bringing through players. I want the academy to become a renowned place where if you want to develop, you come to this place, just like Brighton is. Just like Brighton, when people want to go to Brighton, like young players go to Brighton, it means that, look, they're really, really trying to go develop. When people go to Arsenal, you know, I mean, Arsenal became renowned for, if you want to really develop, Arsenal's the place that technically they're going to develop you highly. Man City are there at the moment. Liverpool, yeah, we're bringing players through, but they're not the level of City players, if we're being honest. Like, we haven't had a Cole Palmer come through our team. We haven't had a Foden come through our team. We've had a Trent, of course, but that's one every so often. Do you know what I mean? Because we are Liverpool. I'd want to see that. I'd also want the manager to come in and really, like, I don't want us to miss out on someone like De Zerbi. I think you have to be really, I don't know, like when you know, when Pep, do you know what I mean? If Pep Guardiola, if Jurgen Klopp, if all these managers, right, are talking, and players, right, even ex-players are talking about De Zerbi, talking about him, about being, I mean, this guy, that guy, the most influential manager in the last 10 years because of what he's done, the way he's got them playing. No one plays like them. You've got to get that, because there's not many of those guys about. And you might be in a situation again where you decide to go and get someone else. Yeah, it might even work for a season or two. But then the De Zerbi goes to City, and then the whole thing starts all over again. Or De Zerbi goes to Barcelona, and the whole thing starts again, where we're looking back on it in 10 years, and you're like, oh, imagine we got him, but we didn't, because we decided to get this guy. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I think his ideas, can transform the mentality of the players that we've got. I think it can make them think differently, and I think that's why I'd want to go and see. I'd want to see Trent looking at the game differently. Hence why I don't want to go to see the same style of play. I want these guys to become, like, well-rounded.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's
want it similar to what Klopp's already do. Like, you don't want it so similar where it's like, yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's just maybe a different formation. Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I hear it, man. I hear it. And yeah, I think it's just one of those things. But listen, look, we don't know what's going to happen until it's been announced. We'll save all the videos in terms of tactic talks and stuff like that on these managers. But yeah, I think looking at someone like De Zerbi, whether you want De Zerbi, whether you want Alonso, whether you want Amorim, it really doesn't matter. I think just at this stage right now, for me, I've got the things I want in a manager, of course, but the reality is I know that that's looking pretty small outside of one person. So, and to me, that one person is De Zerbi. So if it's not going to be him, I don't care. Like, I really get whoever you want to get, do whatever you want to do. But as Jerry said, know that it is that feeling. And I think I've always had that feeling. You will miss out. And once you miss out, listen, if he does go to somewhere like City, which I don't think he would, I don't know, something in my head tells me he'll go somewhere else. But if he was to go to a team like City, yeah, don't complain later on. Don't look at this later on and be like, I wish we had. No, I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. we're just gonna have to live with that regret, and then just hope that we can keep doing our thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, big up Ali. What about Fonseca or Xavi Hernandez? I like Barcelona's style of play, but I also feel that their style of play just won't suit Liverpool too tough. And I feel like he's going to need quite a lot of the structure that's at Barcelona in order for him to do what he did at Barcelona. I feel like he's going to need that. Almost a bit like Pep, bringing all those people over. I feel like he's going to need some of that. If we can facilitate that, hey, then you take Xavi Hernandez. I'll gladly play the way that Barcelona play. If you can't do that, I just don't see the point in getting him, because I just feel like he kind of needs that in order to do what he does best. I still think he's a good manager, but yeah. Fonseca, don't know too much about him, so I'm not even gonna pretend. Pepper's praised De Zerbi, who could go there. Yeah, and it's not just by the way, it's not just about the praise. Like, his style of football is actually good. Forget about the praise that these managers, because managers praise each other all the time. I see man talk about Thomas Frank all the time. I've seen him talk about Rob Edwards from Luton. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think many people are going to sit and be like, yeah, I'll take Rob Edwards right now. I've seen managers do the praise as well. But watch the style of play. Watch what De Zerbi does. Like, stop getting so... But listen, the statistics are not good. I won't lie to you.
But we say that. But that's like, we're looking at the base statistic, and it's like,
no, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. You know, when you look at like Jota before we got into Liverpool, his base statistics were trash.
Yeah,
they were garbage. He weren't getting bare goals and all of that. But you've got to look at the underlying statistics. So when you go and see who's got the most possession in games, the expected, you've got to, like, once now you've got the stats, you've got to start to use them in it. We can't use. I'm not saying you, but I know some people.
I know what you mean.
Like, oh, but he hasn't won anything, and they lose games by this amount. I'm like, yeah, okay, but A, where did you expect Brighton to be? Okay, cool. B, they've lost two of their most important cogs in midfield and had to go and replace them, whilst also battling the fact that they've got a mad injury crisis and stuff. Cool.
You say two, I say three, because remember Colwell went back to Chelsea.
So that's Colwell. Jesus, I forgot Colwell. Yes,
yeah, exactly. So
that's
Colwell, 3 players out of your team, just
their
gone.
Their keeper got injured, right? Steele was injured, Verbruggen now. But they had Sanchez. They had Lamptey that's been in and out. They've had pure injuries. They've had Joao Pedro that started the season really, really well, but was obviously got injured. Evan Fergus has been injured for a bit. They've had madnesses going on in their club, but no one looks at that, right? No one looks at that. Then when you start to look at the statistics and you're like, all right, how many games are they dominating games? How many chances are they creating per game? Like, if you were to just apply that to a team that has better players, it's the same thing we say with Klopp. When you're saying, oh, you know what, the style of play is rubbish, but the inevitability in it, it's like, our players are better than yours, so we're just going to go and get that goal because we're going to create so many. And it's all right, cool, but imagine you're playing that style with a better player that has a better understanding, and he's able to get his message across to these players, and then also have funds to buy a different level of player. He's not losing McAllister and having to get Dahoud that's out of favour by Borussia Dortmund. He's not having to go and look around and be like, yeah, you see Sarmiento, whatever his name is, yeah, you're gonna come in and you're gonna replace this brother, and it don't work. He's not having to go and get Joao Pedro from Watford and hope it bangs. He could now go and be like, all right, we could spend 25, 30 million on a better player. And I'm not talking about spending 50, 60, 70 EMs. That's a play. I don't know, man. Like, let me see if I can send it to you. It's the Premier League Opta stats. But when you look at like Brian's stats, it's a bit mad. It's a bit mad. Let me actually send it to you. It's a bit mad.
Yeah, I'm on the computer anyway, so I've got the WhatsApp up anyway, so I can get it. But you know what's funny? And whilst Jerry's just doing that, yeah, you know what's hilarious? And pick up Coppish, because I was talking about this. Carl mentioned this yesterday actually, and he said, I think they were talking about Emery, but they were talking about like De Zerbi, and obviously I think they asked the chat about whether you would take Unai Emery over De Zerbi. And obviously people say yes, some people say no. So like majority, I think would go yes, to be honest. But and then they obviously, because of his style of play, his pedigree, of course, he's won so many trophies and things like that at various different clubs, which is obviously a plus point. So he definitely wins in that argument. He has that over a De Zerbi kind of thing. Fair enough. But when I looked at the league, I was like, you know what's so mad? They've both conceded the same amount of goals this season. But nobody talks about Aston Villa's defensive situation. Everybody will mention De Zerbi. Oh, defensively, he's not this, he's not that, etc., etc. But I don't hear nobody talking about Aston Villa. They both conceded 50 goals this season, as I've just seen. Both conceded 50 goals. In fact, Chelsea have conceded more, West Ham have conceded more, Newcastle have conceded more, Tottenham are only one behind. Like, they're not even, it's not even as mad as people made it out. Like, I thought the way people spoke, and I never looked at it in terms of, I don't care how many goals that they've conceded. When I used to think, right, maybe these guys have got like, they conceded like 70 goals or something, like something crazy where you're just like, all right, that's a lot of goals, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is something that I will look at when I'm doing the data stuff and etc. etc. But for when you've conceded the same amount as Villa, one behind, you're only one in front of Tottenham. You conceded two less than Newcastle, two behind, two in front of Manchester United. West Ham have conceded more goals than they've scored. Like, it's all crazy. Like, it's actually crazy when you're looking at it from that kind of point of view. But the narrative that keeps running around with everybody is, but defensively, he's kind of weak. But I don't hear nobody mentioning these other teams. I hear nobody mention Unai Emery. Why? Because he's sitting in fifth. They're fourth, sorry. They're sitting in fourth, so no one's mentioning it. But these times, technically speaking, you should be mentioning it, saying, but defensively, they're not really on it. Defensively, but no one says anything. And again, that's what I'm saying. When you paint a certain narrative, people just end up running with it. And now all of a sudden he looks a lot worse. But if you was to actually, and that's just a basic stat that you can just find by typing in Premier League table, and you'll see the goals for, goals against. That's just that stat. Obviously, whatever stats that Jerry's got there, those stats will probably dig even deeper into the whole thing. So that's why I say about this whole, and that's why I did the show earlier on today, guys, about the whole flip-flopping and all that kind of stuff, because it's like 1 minute you'll say this and everything is amazing, next minute it's not amazing. I'm like, bro, pick a side or do your due diligence first and then pick your side that you're trying to pick, but make sure that argument can stand in court, because if it can't, that's when it just looks silly, man. I'll run through a few of the other comments before we go on to the last topic, and I know that's the big one. That's the big one. Ali A saying Kevin Prince Boateng interview was glowing about dessert. Yep, I watched that interview, and you know what's so bad? When I watched it, I was like, before I used to think, because I really like Thomas Frank, and I used to always sit there and say, yeah, you know, I don't mind Thomas Frank. You know, I like his style of football. I like him as an individual. The way the players talk about him, the way he even talks about players and clubs, his ethos around the game. Like I've listened to him in one Thomas Frank in one like random interview that he did talking about Brentford and the football club and the things that they're trying to do. Obviously, they've got like the Brentford B team and all of the, like removing it and all of that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. Say no more. Like he seems like he's proper into his football and he really, 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 really wants to know, you know, kind of what's going on. Oh, you just sent it out. Cool. I'll put it up on the screen now. But yeah, he was another one. But then I was like, nah, but I like De Zerbi. I like his style of play. And I honestly believe his style of play would suit Liverpool. If fans would just buy into it a bit more, they would see it. But obviously, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Yeah, let's look at this.
Yeah, so when you go and look at like the stats that expected goals for, expected goals against, and all of that, yeah, obviously there's a lot. So I'd just obviously just have a look at it when you got time. But
yeah,
obviously there's a lot. Because obviously that's just in position in terms of that league table, innit?
Yeah,
but you can see there, right? Yeah, so you can do that. But if you go and that's the expected goals there. If you're going to even click that, you'll see Brighton, they're level on what they're expected. So like there, if you go and click there, look, expected goals out of open play, they're scored is 36.
Oh, yeah, 36. Yeah.
36.
Yeah.
Like they're efficient. Bear in mind they're playing in Europe as well. It's not, they're not underperforming XG. They're not doing this. When you go and look at Liverpool, yeah, with 52, bruv, I mean 55. We're out. We should have more goals. We're not scoring enough, and that's with the attacking players that we've got on hand.
I do even hear that.
You go and look at Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? They've scored more goals than they expected. 49, 45, 46, 45. Again, when we look at Arsenal, efficient. efficient with their chances. They're not wasting chances.
That's actually mad. Yeah, I'm literally just guys. I'm reading this for the first time as well. Like we're alongside you guys, so it's actually kind of mad. Yeah, Brighton are actually on point for what they need to be doing. So are they really underperforming? Let's see goals against. Let's see what they are about. Yeah,
34 on
they're even
par.
efficient in that.
That's what I'm saying. They're on par. Like they've conceded 34 goals. Like that's like I don't know what people are expecting. Expected them to what score bare, don't concede. Like that's just not how it works.
It's so mad. Liverpool's supposed to concede.
People think Brighton are. Do people think Brighton? Do people think Brighton are Tottenham? Like De Zerbi's at Tottenham and just like we're getting ran through. Like that's not the case. They're Brighton.
That's actually mad. Liverpool expected goals against is 28. 22, and you could probably put that down to the fact that we've just got a dope goalkeeper. But Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
Exactly 28. Take out Alisson and we're on 34. So it's what 6 goal difference?
Yeah.
Come on, man. 6 goal difference, and people are going to try to tell me that defensively it's mad. 6 goals. A 6 goal difference.
It's actually mad. I'm going to keep this up as well. Team Secret Stars.
This is why I want Derby.
Yeah, you explain it. I'm not really. Yeah, you explain this guy. I feel you talking about.
So this graph here shows the teams that are fast and direct versus the slow and intricate. So obviously, if you can see on the y-axis, you can see it says direct speed. So miles, is it minutes per sequence? Yeah, minutes per sequence. If you drop down slightly, yeah, these are passes per sequence. So as you can see here, City are the slowest team and the most intricate team, right? In terms of how they break down teams.
Mm-hmm.
Who's number 2 on that list? Who's the closest to City?
Right.
That is why I want Brighton. That is why, because it means that, albeit if it works out well, you're breaking down these teams much, much more. When you go and look at teams that are much more direct, you start to look at, you know what I mean? Fulham, we struggle against them. United, we struggle against them. Spurs, we struggle against them. Chelsea, we struggle against them.
Theme, don't you think?
We struggle against them. Wolves, we struggle against them. Who's that? Is that Burnley or Newcastle? One of them. Maybe it's both of them. Do you know what I mean? Burnley, not like, and this is my point. If we can get a manager, right, that can go and dominate the rest of the team in terms of like intricate passes and you're not being as direct, if you're a team that is expected to have a lot of the ball, that just enables you to then go and beat these teams more regularly. And I think that's our problem. If you dispatch of these teams more regularly, it comes to a point where you've won the game by the time you've got into the tunnel because people already know what time it is. And yeah, the games against City will be difficult. The games against Arsenal will be difficult. They'll still be difficult games. But it's like our style of play is just like polar opposite to what works.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take a deeper look into this. I think I saw you do a show slyly where you were speaking about this a little while ago.
Yeah, like if you scroll down, this is another thing as well. If you click on that again and just scroll down.
Hold on, let me put it back up. Sorry, guys, I see it as well. I'll put it up in a sec.
Yeah, if you scroll down, keep scrolling. Yeah. So these are zones of control. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just don't touch, so if you don't touch anything, if you just, so you'll see there Liverpool are, if you just scroll down, your cursor, Liverpool are somewhere there. I can't see that.
Yeah, Liverpool here. Yeah. Liverpool here.
So Liverpool, you can see they dominate large portions, but they're contested in wide areas, and obviously in the midfield, and then obviously in like just outside the box. We're being dominated by the opposition because they're just targeting our flanks, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Brighton,
this is mad. Yeah, this
the only place the opposition have the ball is inside their box. Inside their box.
Same.
How
thing.
similar is that?
Same thing. Yeah.
Chelsea. People want to talk about Chelsea style. I like the way Chelsea play football under Poch, by the way. I like Poch football. I like it. I don't like, and I'm not doing well, but I can see what he's trying to do. Look, Newcastle. Look, yeah, you go and look at the teams that are conceding the ball in those wide areas, right? In the wide
Mm.
areas. I know Liverpool don't do it to a lesser extent. Burnley, Crystal Palace, Luton, Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, Everton. Who else? Fulham don't even do that. Fulham lose a lot of the ball in the midfield, but boy, Sheffield United. Look at Spurs. Look at Spurs. Same thing. There's certain principles in football. We're not losing the ball. Like, we're contesting them in wide areas. We're giving away chances in those wide areas. Wolverhampton Wanderers conceding chances out wide. Sheffield United. Like, this is West Ham.
That's mad. West Ham's one is mad.
Like, no, but this is my point. That's what I'm looking at.
Mm.
That's what I'm looking at. So, and this is direct from the Premier League, by the way. So when I'm looking at it, all right, I'm someone that I look at stuff and I'm like, all right, does this work or does it not work? I'm not going to just try to do something because I think it works. I'm going to look at what works. There's something that works. Burnley. Are Burnley doing well this season?
No.
Are Everton doing well this season?
Hell no.
Are Palace doing well? Are Luton doing well? Are Nottingham Forest doing well? Are Manchester United doing well? They've got one thing in common with the Liverpool graph. Liverpool, yes, dominate more. I'm not saying with to a lesser extent, but the wide areas we can see chances in cause us a lot of problems. I want to combat that. And how do you combat that? By dominating that area of the pitch, first and foremost. If we
like
can do that,
like how Brighton do, like how Chelsea do, like how City do, like how Tottenham do. That's mad. I didn't even know Tottenham's one would be like that. Can't even lie.
oh no.
I didn't even know.
Nah,
guys,
he's done.
Yeah, I'm just about to put it up on the screen now.
Don't piss me off.
I don't think it's done though. It just seems like it says he's just the person on the list. Liverpool have had, yeah, he's the leading candidate. Well, it doesn't even say that. It just says that had direct contact with Arne Slot as candidate for the job. One direct contact took place with final manager, and understand one more is already scheduled. That is very interesting, people. That is very.
You're a slut.
Yeah, well, I said this. I was in the Coppers chat yesterday, and I was saying it. I was like, "What you don't want, yeah, is." I see Paul Joyce just put up final coach Arne Slot, interesting Liverpool. I was saying, you know, when you lose a game, you know, like Seven Hague as an example, like because they lost 7-0 or whatever, blah blah. Well, yeah, exactly what you're saying. The second Liverpool lose a game, yeah.
You know that meme with Amber Rose when she was doing her slut walk, and then that past that black guy, you're a slut. You're a slut.
And again, I'm not big up Steve, man. I'm not saying he isn't. This is the thing. He's just not what I want. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But because I can't get what I want, now I'm just in a position of whatever. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There isn't really much else I can, realistically say or do.
Captain Sal's comment. That's exactly what it is. It's a slot machine. It's a slot machine. A slot. You chuck a coin in there, hope for the best, bro. You might end up with a couple bags. You might be broke by the end of it. Hey, it is what it is.
You just gotta run with it, people. I'll be honest. You've literally just got to run with it. Like it is what it is. Listen, I'm gonna have to go away. Final play Thursday. Perfect. It looks like I'll have to. Are we playing on Friday? No, we're playing tomorrow.
Are you flip flopping? Is the Dutch league the best league in the world now? That's what man are screaming. Man are saying that final they're the best team in Holland. They've been underachieving.
Bro,
he's gonna bring Bakayoko with him.
Oh shit! Yes, snap. Yeah. I forgot about
Is that PSV? Is that PSV? It is what it is, man.
No, PSV is PSV. But it'd be just interesting to see. Guys, honestly.
Look at John.
What is it?
Not impressed. He's not impressed. Fam.
Oh, don't worry. We're literally gonna move on to Diogo Jota. I'm just making sure that I'm not missed out anything in terms of the news and stuff. I might start doing that actually. I can't lie in terms of just Twitter news or social media news and seeing what's up. But yeah, breaking. Yeah, it seems that everyone's breaking it now about the Feyenoord coach. Arne Slot is interesting Liverpool. Well, you know what that means, Jerry? Looks like we gotta start watching Feyenoord and figuring out. But to be honest, every day seems to be a new favorite anyway. I can't lie.
Yeah,
Every day seems to be a new favorite.
I'm not
1 minute.
I'm on the De Zerbi train until it dies, man. Until the
Yeah,
train,
literally. That's what I'm saying.
I'm staying on that train, bro. I'm staying on that express train, man. Straight to Milan.
Whilst there's a glimmer of hope, I'll just wait and see, man. Because if it is whoever, then cool. But you never know, man. Remember,
I told you so. When De Zerbi comes, we'll be like, I told you so. That'll be the stream name.
Bro, I don't need to do that. I'll just be like smiling. There's that emoji. I haven't got it on the laptop here, but there's that emoji, where the guy's like got that kind of like cheeky kind of grin on his face. Like I'll just have one of those. I'll literally have one of them. Man said, "Why are we interested in the guy from Breaking Bad?" You man are jokes. You man are silly. No, don't disrespect Slot like that. No, Angel, not Bun De Zerbi, man. Not Bun De Zerbi, man. Trust me. Sri Ram is saying April Fool's is over, Fabrizio. Can we go back to serious news, please? Man are asking who is he? Yo. Angel saying I better start watching Feyenoord. Slots shaming. Yeah, I know. This is what I'm saying. The play on words are very interesting with someone like him. Very, very interesting. It's on Fabrizio's page. Guys. Junior game manager G&J, would you consider playing Diaz up front with Gakpo and Salah out wide against Everton? Let's get into it. Let's actually get into the man of the moment. The reason why I said let me stop my nap and decide to do a video. Let me just get it up here. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like button as well. Don't be silly.
Unfortunately, yes. Diogo, scored the goal, felt a little bit, and now we found out it's a little bit more, so he will be out for 2 weeks. No. Unfortunately, yes. Diogo, scored the goal, felt a little bit, and now we found out it's a little bit more, so he will be out for 2 weeks.
Klopp, yeah. What makes me laugh about him sometimes? Is that hold on. What makes me laugh sometimes is that the way he even said it, he was just like, yeah, I mean, felt a little bit, found out it was going to be small. Now it's going to be a little bit, 2 weeks. I'm like, you're so blasé about it. Like, you must just be fed up. You literally must just be fed up yourself, bro, because talk to me about Diogo Jota. I'm going to put something up on the screen as well. Like, yeah, what's your feeling even behind Jota, like at this stage, at this point?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, 100, bro. Come on, bro. You know I only do honesty, man. Big up honesty in the chat.
Bro, you do honesty, yeah? Mad. Honesty. Pause that. It's time for him to go, man. No, like it's time for him to go, because unless you're in a situation where you got a Salah that's bagging all the time, and you've got a Mane. Like, when we had Salah, Mane, you still had Bobby in there, and you had Jota. Then you had even like Diaz at one point, right? It was like we weren't even relying on him like that. It was like, yeah, if he's about calm, if he's not, it's cool. Man was saying that you can't hold up the ball. Man were grilling him. Like, we was talking about flip-flops. Man were telling me Jota was dead. Man were telling me Jota was the worst forward we have, and that Bobby still got to do this. And then it's mad that it just all changes.
Yeah.
For me, look, he's just not fit. Like, you just got a guy that's not going to be fit for Liverpool, which is fair. Like, some look, not everyone's blessed. Like, I'm someone I get injuries all the time, innit?
So like it is what it is. Like no team could ever bank on me being fit for a whole season because boy, like do you know what I mean? The
Hey
ankle
guys, I hope anyone looking for new players in that they'll pick Jerry. Like. Jerry ain't trying to stay fit for the season.
Me, I'm a big game player, innit? I'm not coming training, but
like Thiago. Okay.
No, Thiago ain't even available for them ones. He was crying. He was crying in Carabao Cup finals and that. But for me, yeah, he's just got to go in it. Like you just got to go because Liverpool are in a situation right now where your number 9 ain't bagging, your number 11 looks like he's getting on, your number 7 is, for me, he's our best forward right now. But he's not a goal scorer, innit? He's like he's like a Rafinha-esque player. Like he can get you a goal, but you're not asking him to get goals. There's more to his game than getting goals. But that's what we need for our forwards. And then Gakpo don't get goals either. So for me, it's just like, boy, get Jota out because he's not available anyway. You'll be better off having a Tony for a full season, bro. That's not going to be injured. Like, no, you would, innit? Like, you'd be better off having a whoever just for a full season, innit? That's the way I see it. I don't know about you,
bro. I said it last season. I mean, all right. He's missed 11 games so far this season. And this doesn't even take into account the injury that Klopp's telling us he's going to be out for 2 weeks for, by the way. This is just up until the injury that he just came back from, right? He's already missed 11 games. Oh, sorry. What am I talking about? He missed 8 games prior to that. So he's missed 19 games so far this season. Yeah? He's going to miss another 2 weeks of football, which is only really like, what's that? Another 1, maybe 2 games, I think, something like that. And I don't even know what the injury is. I actually don't even know. I didn't even check or whatever. I've just seen, obviously, the news. But this brother picks up. Obviously, we know that other injury he picked up was a player, whoever it was, fell on his leg, and then obviously ended up picking up injuries. But I was just like, yeah, see, with you, I don't really care why you're getting injured. It's just the fact that you're constantly getting injured. There doesn't need to be context as to why you're getting injured. It's not like all your injuries are accidental. Like, oh yeah, he accidentally did this, or he fell down a flight of stairs randomly one day, bro. You're getting injured literally all the time. I mean, he came with an injury record really when he was at Wolves. 18-19, 19-20. Yeah, I mean, he's been injured when he was at Wolves anyway. So should we have been surprised? Probably not. And to be fair, I remember him being at Wolves and thinking to myself, yeah, he's a good little player. Not as injury prone as, say, a Pedro Neto, of course. But I do see him out quite a bit, but not enough to really concern me because, of course, I didn't think he was ever going to sign someone like Diogo Jota. His first season, he missed 19 games. Was that his first season? Yeah, first season for Liverpool. He missed 19 games with a knee bruise, then a foot injury, following season ankle injury, hamstring injuries, following the calf injury, which obviously that's the one that kept him out for time. Muscle injury, like, brother, your injury record is atrocious, blood. Like, it is actually atrocious. And to be honest with you, once it gets towards the end, obviously he's here now, so I can't really say anything. But when we get to the end of the season, brother, you gotta go. Like, you actually have to go. You see all of this. He's 28. Like, is he 28? Double check that. I don't want to misspeak.
No, he is.
27. But yeah, turning 28. So yeah.
The 28 this year though.
Yeah. He is.
He's my age group. He's my age group, innit? He's my age group. So that's why I was like,
so you man are all that makes sense. You're injury prone, he's injured. Okay, that makes sense. That year is a bit crazy. What year is that? That's the 96 babies. Yeah, we can't trust these 96 babies, bro. But now, all jokes aside, bro, I need him to go come the end of the season. Like I said, he's here now. I'm not talking about, oh, he has to leave the club today. At the end of the season, and big up Angel. When Klopp says 2 weeks, it means 4. It's true. It's so true. It's so true. John saying he ain't injury prone. Oh, you're 96 baby as well. But hey, you think you're not injury prone until you start kicking ball boy and you start finding out, I didn't know I can get hamstring injury like that. But
do you know what it is? John's chatting, man. Do you know what I mean? John ain't injury prone because he don't kick ball. But when it comes to the consistency with the music thing, where's my album, John? Where's my album? Missing. Playing like Jota, bro. Missing.
You miss it when it matters the most, you know.
I needed a playlist for my marathon. All I had is a couple tunes, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Hey, John, man, the people are speaking, my boy. The people are speaking. But yeah, in regards to Diogo Jota, I agree with Jerry. I think it is that time. You can't. I said this about him and Konate. Let me even look at Konate's record. But yeah, with him and Konate, I can't trust these people. And if I can't trust you, I'm okay. You know, like I'm actually good. Like I'm genuinely good. Like you are very good players. Konate is a good player. I won't have anyone say he isn't. But I can't trust you. And the trust that I kind of need above their ability, almost, like at least with everybody else, at least they're available at the bare minimum. We can deal with the ability, you know, when that time kind of comes. Konate, here we go. 22, 23, missed 10 there, +5, 15 in that season, 23, 24. He's missed 8. I feel like they're missing a year, or they're missing something. I know he obviously had that mad injury when he played for Leipzig. He missed bare games that season, like bare. Look how much football he actually. You know what's crazy? When you look at from 1920 to 2021, this brother missed bare football, you know, and we still bought him. Like we still signed him.
We bought him injury prone. We bought him injury prone. Remember, that was the discussion. It was that
that was
another player that's injury prone.
And by the way, I know, transfer market do miss out some injuries as well. And they don't count other injuries. But if we're just going based purely off of this, 35 plus 15, that's what, 50 right there. 53 plus the 9, 63, 62. So 62 games, man, missed in that amount of time. That's crazy. I'm not even counting this first one here. I'll allow him for that. But the 62 from here, from 1920 to 2021. Like I said, him and Konate, I don't know if I would necessarily sell, so to speak, but they're two players that I do look at and I think to myself, I can't trust you guys, man. Like, I don't know if that's going to change with a new manager, but it just seems like you yourself are just constantly injury prone. Sell him as well. He's a bozo. I hear it. I hear it. I wouldn't be mad if I sold him. I think there is something in Klopp and the coaching staff training methods. It'll be an eye opener next season if a number of players decrease, number of injuries decrease. Yeah, that's one of the things I am dying to see next season. Like above a lot of things, I want to see the injury record next season. I want to know how good or bad it is. Obviously, if it's worse, then we know, okay, it's just clearly it's the players plus something that's obviously going on there. If it's significantly better, I'll know that your answer will be there. Then I'll know it was all along. It was Klopp. Like that's all on you and the coaching staff. Big up Bonkers. Interestingly, a press conference with Arne Slot scheduled for Wednesday to preview Thursday's Eredivisie game away to Go Ahead Eagles has been cancelled. Wow. So new manager, injury-prone players. Hey, man, it's looking like a good time. Obviously, I'll be doing the match preview for the game tomorrow. So we'll take a look at like the lineups and stuff like that in terms of who should play, who shouldn't play, and obviously now we know we haven't got a Jota, and he was actually in my team for the game. But I just knew, yeah, this is maybe one game too many, which is mad to say considering he's just come back off the layoff. Are we going to sit here and say it was too soon and all of that? I don't know. I really don't know. But clearly something is up with that medical team, the recovery of the players. I do think some of it is also mental. I think some of it is just purely down to mentality at times with some players. I remember, I can never forget this, and I always mention this. I remember, sir.
I said facts. Some of it is mentality.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you know why I say that, yeah? I remember Robin van Persie used to always be injured at Arsenal. He went to Manchester United whenever he left to go to Manchester United. I don't feel like he picked up an injury that whole season. I might be wrong. He might have picked up a little niggle. I'll check it here and there, but I don't remember him picking up an injury. And I remember sitting there thinking to myself, that's so weird. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's so weird. Like, and I'm sure Fergie even spoke about this before, of when he was talking about the signing of Robin van Persie, because obviously that's something that players would look at. For like players on your own team would be like, bro, you're signing this brother. I mean, I know he bags goals in that, but you know what I mean? Like, is that really something that we want to take on? Let me see. So in his first season, did he join 13-14 season? Nah, I don't think he did, because look, if someone can remind me in the chat what year that Robin van Persie joined Manchester United. Because right here, I mean, according to this, he basically went, and this is why it's hilarious. The 11-12 season, I don't see any injuries. 12-13, I don't see any injuries. It's only the 13-14 I see injuries. So I just need to find out quickly what year did Robbie Van Persie actually join Manchester United, because it will be hilarious if it just so happens to be the year. Those 2 years are the first 2 years of his time there. Yeah, he joined 2012. He joined in 2012. So didn't pick up no injuries. No, from what's documented here, I'm only going by this. From what's documented here, that's 2 years of no injuries. And that's when the injuries started to kick in again. When previously, looking at his record, injury prone, bro. Constantly injured. 2010, this guy missed 35 games. Then the following season, 18. 20, actually. Yeah, that's mad. And this is why I say it's mentality. I actually think it is generally mentality with some players. Not everybody. Some people generally, it is what it is. Your makeup, your genetic makeup and stuff like that. But yeah, that's actually mad. Angel Konate playing right back and centre back doesn't help with his injury record. I don't know who to even blame. I don't know if you have to even blame anybody. Just, it is what it is, if I'm being honest with you. Like, that's the situation that we find ourselves in, ultimately. He plays that position. So get someone else who can play that position, who's not injury prone, and then we'll be fine. Because ultimately, are we going to sit here and say, well, okay, we're going to start the season with Kwanzaa? I don't even mind Too Tough if that's the way that if he deserves to actually start it, not because this guy is injury prone, so we can't. Then you just have to get a new player. Like next, I want to kill them. And you see their sentimentality. I need that killed next season. Like, I need it killed completely. I don't want anybody to even look like they're remotely happy. I need straight killers when we go out there next season. None of this BS about, yeah, everyone's got to be all happy as Larry and, oh, but he's a baller. Like, all jokes aside, oh, Thiago's a great player. Imagine if we had Thiago. Imagine if we can use him like a luxury player. I remember that was the conversation. Imagine if he was a luxury player. What do you mean a luck? There's no such thing in football as a luxury player. That doesn't. I don't think people understand what that term means. It doesn't mean what you think it means. You can't have a player on your books, and the anomaly literally is Ledley King, and he still had to end up retiring anyway because the injuries got too much for him. Outside of him, how can you have a player on your team and you're only going to use him every literally now and again? So his sole reason for being here is so that he can play in big games. So he plays against Manchester City, he's calm. Don't see him again for another 8 games. All right, plays against Arsenal, don't see him again for another 8 games. At least Ledley King, it wasn't even like that. He wouldn't train with the team or anything. He just, you're playing on Saturday, Sunday, whatever day is. So yeah, this luxury stuff, I never ever understood it. Never understood it. At the time, Arsenal had that doctor, which LFC employed years later. Exactly. Then a lot of Arsenal players are getting injured between. I remember that Aaron Ramsey, Jack Wilshere, all getting injured. Rosicky, he could not stay fit. Solid player, couldn't stay fit. Quite a few of them. I'm sure Coquelin used to always get injured as well. Sure, he used to get injured as well. Oh, by the way, G, what was that site you used that Jerry sent you earlier? It is theanalyst.com. Theanalyst.com. But yeah, I guess it's there for anybody in it, so you can all check it out. I will send it in the chat right now. There you guys go. You guys can check it out for your damn selves. Thursday might not be about for anything potentially. I don't know yet. I don't really think that far ahead from if it's not the morning, then yeah, I don't think that far ahead. But yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. We'll go through the last few comments and then we will head out of here. Who else is live right now, actually, at this current moment in time? I'm sure everyone's probably chilling. Nobody I like. Nobody I like. Nobody I like. Oh, no. Coppish are going live in half an hour, people. So, yeah, in half an hour's time, y'all can just head on over there. But yeah, Gagany, yeah, it was 2012, 2013. But yeah, that's everything. Adidas new deal potentially happening from the 25-26 season. It looks like, yep, it will be the one. Oh, I forgot this question here. I'll let Jerry answer that if he's there anyway. Do you think Darwin has been a flop? If he were to leave Liverpool tomorrow, would you call him a flop? I don't know if he's there or not. I'll wait for him to come back. But if I had to call it, I would say I won't say a flop. I don't think he's been a flop. I just think that he just hasn't matched the expectation level that's been set up on him. I don't know if I'd call it a flop though. I feel like a flop is like, what if Mason Mount were to leave tomorrow? I'd be like, well, he just completely flopped, even though he's been injured. But yeah, I would call him a flop. Or Amrabat at Manchester United, he's been a bit of a flop because his performances haven't even been good. Yeah, I don't know if I'd push it to flop. I don't know. I feel like flop is a strong word, like very, very strong word. Obviously, because of the fee that we paid for him, you could say that, but he'd be on the borderline for me. He'd be on the borderline for me. Is Jota our new Sturridge? Yep, I hear it. I definitely hear it. Very similar, both players. Cold finishes, ice cold in front of goal, but you can't trust those kind of guys. You really, really can't trust those kind of guys. Sturridge is obviously a better finisher than Jota, but yeah, you actually can't even trust those type of players. I remember, honestly, I think you asked this before. How good is Jota? Would you sell him? Yep, as we said before, I'd sell him and I'd sell him ASAP. But to be honest, if I had my way, there's a lot of players I'd be selling. I know that's realistically not going to happen, so I don't want to start saying, when we're doing this transfer stuff, during the summer, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh yeah, let's sell this guy or let's sell that guy. Like, obviously, I'd want us to sell a couple of players, especially because we are a club who like to sell to buy and everything like that. But the bigger picture is, I know that's probably not going to happen, and not in the ruthless way that I want it to happen. So yeah, I just kind of have to leave that one. Question: looking at Ibu injuries, is it because of the way that he defends? Yeah, 100%. It's the way the team's set up. It's literally the way the team is set up. Hence why you'll get these kind of situations that we have with Konate having to go out wide because Trent's obviously gone infield or he's bombed up forward. So he's kind of left a little bit open. And he's left a lot more exposed, in my opinion, than say like a Van Dijk. Van Dijk's still left exposed, but Robbo will get himself back more often than not. I don't feel like with Trent that usually happens, kind of thing. And on top of that, you don't see Van Dijk having to do the kind of runs that Konate is doing. Konate basically is playing right back at times. Van Dijk isn't really doing that. He's kind of staying in his position. Maybe also as well, the way that Van Dijk defends, as opposed to the way that Konate defends. Yeah, it might be, what I mean. Junior game manager, would you consider playing Diaz up front with Gakpo and Salah out wide against Everton? Stay tuned, 10:30 a.m. UK time. I will be going through my team for the game. Hopefully there's no more injury news that I need to kind of go over, and then I think we'll be good to go. John saying Sturridge was 10 times the player Jota was, but obviously injuries. Yeah, 100%, man. And big up Hakeem in the building. You guys are all calling him flop. I hear it. Do you think any big LFC stars such as VVD, Trent, and Salah, for example, could depart in the summer? I think one of those do. I think one of those players that you named will leave the club in the damn summer. All right. When are you doing a slot video tactics and how he fits Liverpool? When something a bit more concrete, like, you know what? Give it till like Friday. We've got the game on Wednesday. Yeah, we've got a game tomorrow. So I'll do the match preview. Then Thursday, I'll do the match reaction. So then Friday, I think Friday will probably be a day. And we'll see how much news we can get in between now and then. If we get a bit more concrete stuff in terms of Arnie Slot, then yeah, I'll do the video, man. I'll definitely do the video. I'm gonna have to take a look at him now anyway. You know what I mean? In fact, I'm just gonna take a look at quite a few managers and kind of see, you know, what we can do. Salah will leave. Shut up. Sturridge v Jota is an interesting one still. Yeah, Sturridge every day. No, it's not even interesting. It's Sturridge every day. Yeah, he's more versatile. But if we're just talking striker, it's Sturridge every single day. Sturridge is one of the best strikers I've ever seen at Liverpool. Easily. Not even close. Salah, the new number 10. Yeah, don't let ends come in here with his bloody agendas, man. We ain't got no time for that. But guys, I'm gonna head out of here. Please make sure, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you are smashing that like button. I want to thank everybody who has obviously joined in this afternoon. I'm hoping that I don't need to be back until tomorrow. That is the hope. I'll be back here tomorrow for the preview, unless something crazy happens between now and then. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day, and I hope you guys stay blessed.